I know that you know that I have to talk about this. I'm in the business of talking about potential things that could affect the Detroit Lions. And although Cooper Kupp is not a Detroit Lion, we got to talk about it because somebody is going to talk about it and ask me my opinion on it. So I'm getting ahead of the game and making a video about it. Now, it's kind of telling that these players, we got several players, and I don't think this is the only time we'll hear Trey Hendrickson. We've got Cooper Kupp, Myles Garrett, names that have been talking about being traded at the trade deadline that are now actually going to be traded or have either asked for a trade. Cooper Kupp was informed today that the Rams would be seeking an immediate trade for Cooper Kupp. Now, it's only February. There's nothing that I know that would come into play as far as most incentives and all that stuff is when the new league year hits, which is over a month away. So this is a surprise. Maybe they're trying to get ahead of free agency. I'm not sure, but they've already told him that they are immediately trying to trade him, which is insane to me. How short your career is in the NFL. According to Adam Schefter, says now that the Rams have said they will look to trade Cooper Kupp, here is the cost. If Kupp is traded, his new team would inherit his $20 million salary in 2025. That ain't going to happen, which is a $7.5 million roster bonus, $12.5 million guaranteed, and $19.85 million in 2026 unless a contract is negotiated. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't going to happen. No team is going to trade for Cooper Kupp without renegotiating the contract, and that is going to have to be the case before the trade even happens. So Cooper Kupp is not going to be a Detroit Lion or play for any other team with that current contract. But why could the Detroit Lions potentially trade for Cooper Kupp? Before we do that, let's take a look at Cooper Kupp's stats. Got to take a look at that. That was supposed to be right here, so we'll just fade that real quick. So, of course, Cooper Kupp made a name for himself, drafted in the 3rd round all the way back in 2017, which was the same draft that Mr. Myles Garrett was drafted in. How ironic is that? You have 3rd rounder, had a pretty decent 2024, 67 receptions, 710 yards, averaged 10.6 with 6 touchdowns. And he didn't play every game. As a matter of fact, he only played 12 games. Cooper Kupp has not played a full season since the very first 17-game season many 4 years ago. That's a long time ago. Has not played. This was the year that they won the Super Bowl. He won the Triple Crown. Then this was the year the whole team got hurt, including Matthew Stafford. He only played 9 games, played 12 2 years ago, and then 12 last year. Still had 100 targets and 67 receptions. Not a bad haul for Cooper Kupp. So why would the Detroit Lions trade for him? We'll go with that. Let's do why they wouldn't first. They wouldn't because of everything you see there. Do they really need a wide receiver? And if they do, because we have some that we could re-sign like Tim Patrick and things like that. And do we need a Cooper Kupp? Because we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We've got Khalif Raymond. We've got the shorter guys. Cooper Kupp is not necessarily a down-the-field threat, but I think he's more of a deep threat than, let's say, when I say threat, I'm using the word threat very loosely. He's more than, let's say, a St. Brown, but I think we already got a Cooper Kupp and St. Brown. So and nobody's going to trade for him with that current contract. There's not a single person that would trade for him. So I think the biggest reason is contract and the fact that, of course, you got the age as well, and you have the fact that we have his player already, and even if you add Khalif Raymond. But the Detroit Lions, under contract, don't have a ton of receivers. It's still Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Khalif Raymond. Khalif Raymond, that's it. We don't have any other receivers. Allen Robinson, Tim Patrick. So that's why the Detroit Lions would not trade for Cooper Kupp. And we already know what his salary would be like because Adam Schefter broke it down. But why would they trade for Cooper Kupp? Of course, they reworked the contract because we don't have but 2 or 3 wide receivers on the contract. And also because if you go back and you look and see when he was drafted, what rings true? Jared Goff's rookie year, there was no Cooper Kupp. Jared Goff's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th seasons, under the LA Rams, with the LA Rams, Cooper Kupp was part of his team. And before that connection with Matthew Stafford, that was in 21, they had a pretty good season, specifically that 2019 season. The 2018 season, they went to the Super Bowl. So I could see Goff making a push for potentially seeing, hey, could we bring somebody that I'm very familiar with, even though it's been 4 seasons since we played together? Could we bring a guy that I'm familiar with in here? Of course, not for the current contract. Cooper Kupp has not played a full season in 3 seasons. And that's another reason the Lions would trade. And also, Brad Holmes was there. Brad Holmes was there when Cooper Kupp was drafted. So there's a lot of connections between our current regime and the LA Rams and Cooper Kupp. I don't see why we would do this outside of the reasons that I mentioned. I would much rather sign Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick's going to be a lot cheaper. He's also that kind of receiver that we need. And if we're going to trade for anybody, it needs to be a defensive end. That's just it. So don't think, here's what I want to know. Could they release Cooper Kupp? If they don't get a trade partner, could they release Cooper Kupp before the new league year? Because I'm trying to see, does he get anything when the new league year hits? He might. I'm looking right now. He has a $5 million roster bonus in 2026. His 2025 roster bonus already guaranteed last March. That's where the 7.5 is coming from. But 5 of that 7.5 is fully guaranteed. So Cooper Kupp, not sure if he'll be traded. Not sure if he'll be released. But if we have to trade for him, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. If Lions got we need a bigger receiver. We need a taller receiver. We need somebody, because you would have one Jameson Williams. Now, if the Lions wind up pulling off, let's say we've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, we've got Khalif Raymond, we've got Jameson Williams, we re-sign Tim Patrick, and we trade for Cooper Kupp. And let me see. The Lions currently have, what are we looking at here? What are we looking at from Tankathon? Now, I was told in the comment section today that the Lions a team cannot trade compensatory picks. I did not know that. I did not go fact check that. I mean, it would make sense, but it's kind of busted. But I mean, a draft pick is a draft pick, right? But if that's the case, we got 3 7th-round picks. Could we package something together? I would be willing to give one of these up for Cooper Kupp. I mean, one of these up for Cooper Kupp. That's funny. But we got 3 7th. Maybe I don't know, give them 2 7ths, and they can use those to trade up. I give them all 3 if they want. We'll give them all 3. I don't know if Cooper Kupp is worth that. Plus, we're going to have to pay him and all that other stuff. So I don't think that it's going to be a thing. Now, if he's released, then we could have a different conversation. I don't think it, but I had to make a video about it because somebody is going to be asking me about it later. Should the Lions trade for Cooper Kupp? I'm going to say no. Somebody will. I am very curious to know where he could go. And I wonder, what does this mean for Matthew Stafford? Because Matthew Stafford now is, remember last year, they reworked the contract. Is this to keep Matthew Stafford? Are they getting rid of Cooper Kupp to keep Matthew Stafford? Or are they starting to kind of clean house a little bit and potentially get rid of Stafford, bring in a guy like Sam Darnold, who has not been he played for the San Francisco 49ers, but he hasn't been on the LA Rams, because I heard that too, that Stafford could wind up, it depends on what's going to happen with Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold could be an option for the LA Rams. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cooper Kupp is not getting traded with that current contract. It's going to be something else that needs to be reworked. There's a possibility he gets cut. Either way, I really don't see you would have a guy that Goff is super from, but you would literally have like a mirror image of St. Brown. It'd be like St. Brown and Kupp. St. Brown is a younger version and got all the potential in the world, just like Cooper Kupp. So I couldn't really see that happening, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you trade for Cooper Kupp? And if so, put it in the comments. What would you be willing to give up? And what would you pay him? I could see him getting, let me see, what did they say it is again? $19 million in 2026. That ain't happening. There's an off chance. There's an off chance that he's released. There's an off chance that he's released. Let me ask you, would you pay Cooper Kupp what Brad Holmes gave DJ Chark? DJ Chark played 11. Hold on, let me see something. Let's look. DJ Chark had a handful of receptions. It was less receptions. He had 504 yards, couple of touchdowns, and averaged more. But we paid him 10.5 guaranteed, somewhere around there, all guaranteed. Would you give Cooper Kupp $20 million or less for 2 seasons? For 2 seasons. I'll put it like this. If Lions had Cooper Kupp, St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond, Cooper Kupp, and draft a wide receiver, I wouldn't be mad, but it all depends on what capital we gave up for him. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. Leave them in the comment section below. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Got a big, I want to give you guys an update on the investor. Had a conversation with a potential investor for the brand and the channel, and they told me what they were thinking, and I respectfully declined at the moment because although I appreciate it that somebody thinks that highly of me and what we're trying to do, I really want to give this a shot without any help, as far as outside help. And of course, if somebody invests in the channel, then they would be part owner, because that's what investing is, and expecting a return. But the fact that they believed in me that much is a big deal. And that tells me that I'm on the right track, and just keep it up. But I really want to see what I can do without any outside help. And if the time comes, then we definitely will reconsider that. But I had mentioned it a couple videos ago, and I wanted to make sure that you guys were up to date. But right now, still independently driven, man. No outside help, and eventually we might get to that. But right now, we're just going to keep rocking like this. But that's a big deal, and that's in no part thanks to you guys. Like, you guys are part of that 100%. Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support that I get to do what I do, and we have people potentially wanting to invest in the company, man. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.